Going to be coming at you. What is 3 teams remaining? Now we got the winter bracket finals coming at you here on Honcast. We got a great day ahead of us, a great weekend ahead of us, and we are finally getting started. As you can see, jumping into game number 1 of this series. Again, this is the winter bracket finals. We, of course, have Stay Green taking on Too Much Sugar. Again, you saw the brackets right there. Just a quick look of how these teams have made it, the road that it took. It was not easy for either team by any means, but they are here in the winter bracket finals now. The winning team will move on to the grand finals, of course. The losing team will be bumped down to the losers bracket, where they will take on Lion Esports Club later on today. So a best out of 3 series coming at you, and finally excited to get things started here on Honcast. With that said, I'm Breaking CPK. Today, my co-caster, I'm going to be joined by Sender of Internet Gangsters. Sender, welcome. Finally, we're getting things started here.
Yeah, I know it took a while to get the game going, but I'm just glad to be in the game right now. We're pretty excited to see this matchup. I want to see if tmsR can bring the same level of play they brought when they played Lions a couple days ago.
Yeah, they looked really good against them. Obviously, that series concluded with that really epic game number 3, turned into a bit of a base race there at the end. But Too Much Sugar was able to pull through, of course. So, I was actually talking to Beef about kind of this matchup here before today. And he actually brought up an interesting fact. I think Fantasy even looked it up initially, but tmsR they're 0-6 against Stay Green through Haunter, and they've never beaten them in a best out of 3 series. When it comes to tmsR as a team. So they've never beaten them in a game, that is. So not even an individual game. They haven't even took a map off of them. So it's definitely, kind of a one-sided matchup in that sense. But at the same time, I think tmsR has been looking the best that they have in pretty much ever, honestly. I don't know if do you agree?
Yeah, probably. This is probably where they played the best as of recently. But I honestly think it was when they played Lions a fluke, or was that, is this team really just that good? We'll just have to wait and see, and it's only a matter of time, and we'll just have to see how these matches play out.
That is true. Again, so we'll have to see here, and we are already moving along, so we need to obviously get into the match here and start talking about what the hell is happening. So the banning phase, we had Scout, Ophelia, Dampier, Kraken. Kraken starting to appear on the ban list now here. tmsR taking out the Kraken. Limp obviously plays a fantastic Kraken, so don't want to have to deal with that. As far as the picks go, Stay Green ended up with Tempest, Hag, Torturer. Over here on tmsR, though, a lot of push potential. Keeper, Engineer, and Warbeast. What stands out to you so far, Sender?
Swindle first picked Tempest just because it's a very strong hero. Arguably, I guess, he wants to run a jungle strategy and is arguably the strongest jungler right now. And it looks like tmsR was forced to take Keeper because they didn't want to really give up Tempest Keeper. And that means that Stay Green got their favorite carry hero right now, which is Wretched Hag, because the hero can just lane so well. He can go any lane. He transitions really well into the late game because it's very hard to gank him in the current meta game. So they just got really what they want. They got all the heroes they want right now.
Yeah, that they do. So, in fact, the ban's now coming out leading into the next year picks. Look at those real quickly. Sandwraith, Ravener, Rally, Fade, Parasite, and Pebbles being taken out here. So now the final 2 picks going to be coming out on either side. Thoughts on the bans here?
tmsR is just trying to ban out Swindle Melons. All right, what are the strong? They have yet to pick a mid lane for Swindle / another side lane solo most likely. So they're just banning that out, and Swindle Melons is banning out a little bit of everything actually. I guess probably just the heroes he's most afraid of, or in a couple categories.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really targeted though. It's mostly just what do we not want this team to have?
Corrupted Disciple.
You see right there, Corrupted Disciple. So they're going to get a solid carry that they like. Probably end up in the hands of Chessie, of course. But that is kind of interesting. So that I guess that likely means, are we going to see a Suicide Hag here? Or?
There's a few options. It could even be a dual. I'm going to call it the dual lane long lane and a Hag middle.
Okay.
And a C short lane, because Hellborn picked Keeper of the Forest and Warbeast on the same team, and then they just picked a short lane solo. So it's pretty easy to say at this point in the drafting phase that Keeper's in the jungle.
Yeah.
And when you pick a hero like Engineer and Keeper on the same team, it's pretty greedy, honestly, because when you're Jungle Keeper, because you can't really rotate the engineer to your short lane with a hero with Soul Reaper. So you have to see the dual lane, long lane from the start, or you have no rotation other than just totally lane swapping.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see. How about that Soul Reaper? I mean, yeah, this is just – it was already plenty of push, plenty of teamfight presence, but they add a Soul Reaper on top of that. So I think tmsR is trying to make a statement here against State Green. And you kind of wonder, obviously, so they're going to think about this last pick now. They got 35 seconds still. They really didn't use any extra time all the way to this last pick here. So they got a lot of time to think about what they want to do now, but you're talking about the hero still possibly for Swindle Melons if that, but – is there anything that's standing out to you here as an obvious option?
I mean, the Prisoner's still there, but I don't know if they want Prisoner versus a heal lineup. Prisoner's good for like repositioning, but if you don't have the burst damage, sometimes it's not the optimal hero. And he's just not like the highest burst hero, so they go Master of Arms. So I guess it's gonna be it makes sense. Counter push for the obvious push that tmsR is gonna bring. And I'm still pretty confident they're going to put the dual lane, long lane, Hag middle, and CD short lane. They don't have to, however. They could put Hag top versus the Soul Reaper. I just think they will because tmsR really has no response if they don't see it coming.
Yeah. Well, now tmsR, I mean, so you look at what they have. This is shaping up to very possibly be a jungle keeper here.
It is a jungle keeper. I would imagine the last pick would be Prisoner, maybe something like maybe there's a hero like Prisoner is good in a push lineup because it's hard to you got heals and it's hard for the other team to counter push because you have a hero that forces them out like to you're trying to hook them and it's trying to screw with their positioning.
Yeah. All right, so they're gonna think about this one a little bit. Obviously, use that extra time up about 20 seconds now remaining, but Slick's in that captain role. We'll see if it perhaps is that Prisoner or maybe a different style in the end, but that definitely could make a lot of sense here. If not that, maybe something like a Magnus even stands out possibly, but they're running up Pestilence. They're right-clicking, actually. Is that going to be it? Yeah. They're going to go Pestilence.
Maybe they don't want to maybe they want to switch up their strategy with the MOA pick. Maybe they think they can't push and win the game with the hard push, so instead they just go for a little bit better mid to late game option. You have to keep in mind that heroes like War Beast and Pestilence synergize really good together with the minus armor, so they like at the mid game phase they should have the damage to just like destroy one hero if they can keep them stun locked.
All right, so here we go, guys. Game number one. And again, do apologize for that. Waiting one of the players here to show up, but in the end, he got here, and we do have a match in our hands. So it was looking a little bit scary there for a couple of minutes, to be honest, in terms of what was going to be happening. But he showed up, so we're playing the match, and that's what matters in the end. So here we are, game number one. Lineups both good to go, but so again, you look at the big picture here, the lineups that we have in front of us. tmsR, clearly their strategy is about that team fight, about that group pushing here. We'll see when winning that kind of takes off. They are running the Jungle Keeper once again. Lions Hanskin's actually been doing that a little bit lately. Outside of that, though, we really haven't seen too much of the Jungle Keeper. He's usually played still more in that suicide role, but you think Tank Effect could do just fine with the Jungle Keeper here?
I'm sure. The thing is, I don't think Jungle Keeper is very good for a couple of reasons. But if he gets the jungle, to good spawns, doesn't get many camps blocked, I'm sure he'll do a good job. But the big issue of Jungle Keeper is you need so much starting gold on your hero that you don't have the gold to upgrade the courier and buy 2 counter wards. So that either you're gimping your support hero or you're kind of not protecting your own jungle.
Yeah.
And Keizu didn't. I watched the VOD from yesterday because I could, and the thing is, you don't have when you're blocking camps against a keeper. You don't have to. You can just place them in the trees because when you have a keeper jungle, you usually don't have a courier at the start of the game. So that's a big thing is you already see that Z-Freak has counter wards on him. So this is probably gonna be 3 camps blocked, whereas they have 1 counter ward. Okay, so how did they spend their gold? They don't have a courier. They want to have a flying courier. And Moon did buy 1 counter ward, but you see is they're going to have 3 spawns blocked, and there's going to be no response play by this Keeper of the Forest.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's, all 5 of them, well, 4 of them I should say, all 5 of them are coming up here to the top side, and unless Soul Reaper finds himself in the jungle, he should be fine. And actually, though, He's not quick enough. This could be a little bit dangerous. No, they're going to be spotted by the tree, though. And that'll foil any plans that they had of maybe setting up a gank. But here we go with the starting of the blocking, I'm sure, as you're talking about. You look at Engineer kind of doing his own thing there in the Legion jungle in the meantime. Umiana places a Rev Ward at that middle camp there. He's going to make his way all the way to the middle camp over here and place a ward aside to block that one as well, it looks like. So, yeah, both teams prioritizing blocking off the camps, it looks like, when it comes down to it. tmsR didn't really group up, though, like State Green. That's a little bit riskier even, but yeah, they made it work. So Engineer, despite going to the jungle by himself, just fine. He blocks a third camp right there. So, yeah, he ends up blocking 3 camps in the end. Tempest is sitting on 420 gold, though. Obviously not spending all of it as we talk about. And I'm sure he'll eventually buy those counter wards, upgrade the courier as well. Or actually, what is he doing? He's just buying more mana pots so far, so he's still sitting at about 300. So once he notices that, though, I'm sure that'll come out. So as far as the lanes go, though, it doesn't look like. So what are we seeing? We're seeing the Wretched Hag middle, Corrupted Disciple bottom. It is going to be that aggressive dual lane top. You got Torturer, Master of Arms up there. Torturer in the priority farm, by the way. Of course, Swinnemel's playing the Torturer, Z-Freak on the Master of Arms. So think these lane setups make sense here in the end?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of what I predicted from the start.
Yeah.
tmsR, as I was saying, doesn't really have a response play to the long lane, dual lane. And this is going to favor SG a lot. The Hag should get decent farm middle, where the Soul Reaper, who needs early farm, will be quite pressured in the top lane.
Yeah, you do see at that top side. I mean, usually like in a 1v1 matchup, Soul Reaper definitely a hero that can shine by all means. But in this 2v1, especially being double range, I think it's safe to say hacks are willing to be very, very careful about that positioning. So, but, the name of the game, as long as you don't die, obviously, that's the best case scenario. Yeah, this middle matchup, I mean, this is not the ideal hero combination for doing good against a Hag, you would think. And mainly because they don't really have that setup stun to maybe get a stun lockdown on the Hag. So, yeah, I guess Limp should. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that, but you think Limp should actually have a decent time here?
Yeah, I would. Honestly, I think he should have at least 150 gold per minute, or maybe 200 if he CS as well, but
yeah.
I think he'll do good enough. I think he'll get like bottle boots from laning phase probably, and that's really just fine for your Hag.
Yeah. So he's going to have a decent time here, most likely. He has about 5-0 creep farm star. Pestilence 8-3 so far. But you see, Wretched Hag is focusing a lot on the harassment though, on the Pestilence in the middle lane. Top lane being pressured at the tower, pretty much right there. So Soul Reaper again is keeping his distance. I mean, you see right here, Torturer and Master of Arms. They're just on the outskirts of the tower range right there against the Soul Reaper. So they are really, really pressuring him. But at least Soul Reaper is able to soak up some decent experience right here at the same time.
I think Hax is doing a good job of pulling the creep wave back.
Yeah.
He's getting lane control, he's getting experience, and that's about the best thing he can do. If he loses lane control, though, he'll be forced entirely out of the lane.
And you also see this bottom matchup for a lot of heroes. No different here. Corrupted Disciple able to box out Warbeast quite well using that conduit and forcing Casey to kind of fall back right there. So Casey still has a bit of regen left on him, but as soon as he comes up, you can see. But he is doing a good job of pulling with the Hounds, it looks like, keeping occupied with that. As far as the jungle goes, by the way, Minos was able to counter ward this middle camp right here. So he is able to take advantage of that. Not able to get the other two, though, or at least not even attempting, it looks like. So thinking that he can do just fine with these. There are ward asides blocking those other camps, however, so those are going to be for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think unfortunately he countered the one with the counter ward.
Yeah.
However, he has a good enough rotation. He has 2 camps right next to each other, and the small camp on the side, so he can stack the camps, and he should farm just fine. Maybe not the best, but good enough.
Top lane Torture, I'm sure he's doing pretty good. 9-8 actually. Yeah, Torture's not doing the best so far, especially you would think that they would be having a great time. But you were talking about that earlier. Haxman's been doing a good job of pulling the lane back and maybe making it difficult right there. Haxman himself is only 1-6, so he's actually denied quite a bit. So maybe
it's probably the Warcry factoring in.
True.
You're in a 2v1 lane. Your support really doesn't want to go for the CS, but sometimes you kind of just have to, but you don't really want to.
Mm-hmm.
So Soul Reaper's getting a little bit of denies when he can, which is good by Hax.
Yeah. And this Keeper, they're going to try to set something? No, he's just doing a stack attempt right here. So I was going to say he's not even level 6 just yet. Not sure what they would be able to accomplish, but he's just stacking it up. So, and actually Soul Reaper going to assist him right here. And even maybe take a couple of these creep kills. So if anything, kind of sharing the experience out of the jungle. Yeah, middle lane Engineer. A little bit of trouble, but he is going to be fine. Refreshment Rune's going to be protected, though. And actually, Hag's going to be able to pick that up. So good rune control coming out from Stay Green right there.
And I guess Moon probably got bottom rune.
Warby's got the bottom one, looks like.
Oh yeah,
Double
DD.
damage.
So it's good for him. Kazu's doing I think he's doing good. You're in a pretty rough matchup. Seeing a 200 gold win is just fine. Probably would like to be a little bit better, but nothing to complain about.
Yeah, so Warby's getting that double damage, though. He was able to assist, get some more farm himself. And again, KZ, you see him just above 200 gold per minute. But Chessie at 24-9 now is, of course, having the better time as expected at the bottom lane. So, I mean, both sides, definitely having some good points. You just mentioned Pestilence, and now he's actually on top right now of the GPM chart. The gold per minute chart does look a little bit better for Stay Green, though, so far. At least off the bat, but
a couple things to point out is the Tempest, who could have already had a role in this game, but right now he just gets level 6.
Yeah,
that means he can have a huge role in the game. Where Keeper is still trying to hit level 6. He needs his mana. He wants his mana ring too before he can start getting active and pushing. And also, he doesn't push that fast until he gets level 7. And since it's a dual lane top, that means I guess they can send a rotation, but basically he needs to get a kill to take a tower. And he's not really in the most optimal places to get the kill to take the tower.
There we go, bottom lane. Tempest and Corrupted, they are going to push it in. Warbeast and Engineer making that rotation. Engineer currently with the no items, the no item build here. He's obviously been in that support role, actually taking a good amount of damage right there, but they are going to force Corrupted back. Kexstone will connect, not going to go for any kill by any means, but just going to make him pay a little bit for overextending right there, and they will actually clean up any heavy push attempt there at the bottom lane so far. Again, definitely the red hands definitely helping.
Invis rune on Master of Arms. It wasn't spotted. All the Hellborn wards were used in the bottom lane. So we'll see if this can get a kill. Pax is playing pretty safe though right now.
Yeah, he is going to try to find that opportunity, but yeah, as you said, Hax is basically hugging the tower at this point unless he starts pushing up right here, which it doesn't look like. I mean, he knows something's up. He knows he's missing, if anything, so he's playing very, very passive. Oh, he's going to kind of creep up a little bit.
Well, they know they know Stay Green got the top rune because they have a rune ward on the bottom, and they know it was refreshments. So I mean, it can only be so many things, and you have to play around the worst case scenario.
Yeah, and that he is, and it is paying off, it's safe to say. You see right here, he's actually just going to go for the pull. Master of Arms might try to steal something here. Yeah, he's going to fork lightning. He gets one of them, but in the end, the other two were killed off. I think the creeps even got one of them. So anyways, a little bit of spread farm right there coming out between the two. But now Swinamelon's farm and has jumped over that 300 gold per minute mark, as is Tempest and Corrupted Disciples. So again, these GPM charts really starting to favor Stay Green now, as we are passing just 7 minutes into the game here. But those level 6s are starting to be hit. You got a level 6 keeper now. He's actually pulling up 1,200 gold, so probably just going to save straight up for that Ring of Sorcery here on top of the Ring of Teacher that he went. And you figure that he's going to make his way top, and in fact, that is happening right now. Engineer coming in. Water Rev is put down. Actually, Master of Arms, are they going to root? Yes, they are. Will this be enough? Follow-up. Kexstone on top of the turret. Torture going to stun. Not going to be enough, though. Bloodlust kill coming out in favor of the Hellborn team. And that'll be a good start now for tmsR. Good rotation.
That is a good kill, but it's an expensive kill. You use your Keeper. That means you really can't take any team fights for the next 2 minutes. They're also not getting a tower out of this Keeper route, and they only got the support. It's obviously a kill's a kill, and it's always worth it, but it could have been better, or it could have been worse for Stay Green, I suppose is the better thing to say.
It's a valid point, as we do see bottom lane. Tempest actually hasted, and he's kind of having fun with Pestilence here, but in the end, not too much is going to take place after that. But yeah, no, it makes sense. They did, again, it's a Bloodlust kill, so it's good, but they did use a lot that now, as you said, now without that root presence, maybe not as threatening to push that top lane just yet. So they are going to hold off at least on that, and maybe for a little bit here.
Stay Green's doing a lane rotation. It's kind of odd to me. I guess they just don't want to use the resources to control the top lane to lose it eventually anyways. But they use their Keeper route, right? So there's really no threat, right? So and they swap after the route is used, but it shouldn't really matter. I think they'll do well mid with the double range lane with all these levels piled up, and Hack should do fairly well top. He has more resources than the Soul Reaper does, and he has a bottle.
Yeah.
So he should be able to do just fine. Limp did place a ward on the side and Moon already had a counter ward down, so that should be countered pretty soon. Pretty unlucky for Stay Green, but good play by Moon.
Yeah. So you see Pestilence, by the way. Again, this is that Pestilence pickup here. It's actually top lane Wretched Agony Sorper kind of going at it. Sorper a little bit chased, but not going to be enough in the end. Pestilence here again. This is that final pick coming out here from tmsR, and you know, a little bit questionable maybe in terms of what else they could have gone for. So you see the impact that he's going to be having here. And I mean, so far 275 gold per minute again. It's not really shining. It's not taking off. And this is for the most part what was a 2v2 lane or 2v1 lane, I want to say. I mean, Engineer did do a little bit of rotation here and there, but it was 2v1 for most of it. So am I wrong to think that Slick's farm really isn't as good as you would think it was, or think it should be?
No, I think you hit it right. Like, he should be at 60 CS, 70 CS right now. You have Warcry. You shouldn't be missing CS as a melee hero in a 2v1 situation.
Yeah.
Even though Engineer isn't the best zoning support, like, it's still a 2v1 lane, and it's just unfortunate. Like, it's not gonna... It's probably not gonna matter that much, but, you know, it is still a small thing, and these small things add up. And if he hit all those creep kills, you know, the gold advantage would probably be 1k instead of 1.5k. But does it really matter in the long run? Not really, but it kind of does.
Oh, well, I mean, for him specifically, obviously, you want to try to get that portal key as soon as possible. It may not be like that Pebbles portal key presence necessarily, but still.
I think he will go portal key, though. I don't really like a portal key rush versus the Legion heroes.
Yeah?
So much magic damage coming out. The minute you blink stun in to a team fight, you're just going to die. In Han metagame right now is mostly about team fighting, and he doesn't really have anyone to gank with him, so I really don't like a portal key rush here. I'd rather see like a shrunken head rush, or maybe some like an Insanitarius or something like that. But probably a shrunken head rush. You need to sustain in the team fights.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. You know, once he hits around that 1,000 gold mark, what he decides to go for here. Maybe get some answers. But bottom lane in the meantime, here we go with another push incoming. Top lane, they are actually able to get a kill on a lip. It looks like the root was used right there, so good job at the top side. But yeah, free tower kill easily now.
And a tower defense on the top lane, I would expect. There's no reason not to defend this tower. They use keep root.
Well, they port back. I mean, do they have TPs? Tempest does, and neither does Corrupted, so no. They're not going to defend this, actually. They're just going to keep pushing here. So they're probably going to lose that top tower, but they're going to try to make them pay for a secondary tower kill here.
If they get a little bit of team support, no, this tower is gonna. This is a trade.
Okay, well, actually, there is one TP coming. It looks like it is Wretched Hag. You see Magic. Oh, that's Corrupted Disciple. They get that tower kill, though, but at what cost right here? There's the Conduit on a Sorper. He's down a lot of trouble. Nature's Veil going to be applied, though. He will be fine for now. Keeping the force on the run as well. Going to spawn those trees. Not able to Nature's Veil in time. Bat Blast coming out even. Don't think that was even 100% necessary, but just to guarantee the kill. What's that?
Didn't even hit him, the Bat Blast.
Yeah, so just a little bit too late. Didn't even matter.
Still pressuring. Warbeast is in trouble. Tempest all comes out.
There, it's going to hold him down. And actually, Pestilence ported into it as well. Warbeast is going to get away, though. The Metamorphosis is going to be fine. They deny the tower, and Tempest goes down. Talk about a perfect scenario in the end, especially with how that started there for tmsR. Basically, everything went correct that way. They got the kill. Warbeast somehow managed to live, and they denied the tower on top of that. So the tower is still dead, sure, but
I think Snowball hit the engineer. He misclicked the engineer instead of. Did he go for the tower, or did he hit the engineer? Because I know he had one auto attack away from killing KZ on Warbeast.
I didn't catch that, honestly. Not sure.
I'm not sure where it flew, but that's a huge mistake regardless. And you see, tmsR came back in the resources quite a bit. You know, what a tower deny. They got a tower top. Sure, they lost one hero for a lot of cooldown, so pretty favorable for them.
Yeah. And now you see Slicks here. Speaking of him, it looks might just be going for that portal key. So, I mean, you'd figure if he was going for Strength, at least by the Mighty Blade by now. But with the way he's saving up, that is more likely to be the portal key pickup. So he will have that strong initiating tool. But as he said, he's going to be pretty susceptible to getting turned on after he does jump. So we need to be concerned about that still. But let's see how that works out.
Another thing to factor in is when you're playing versus hero like MOA, that's also another like 250 damage you have to get through. I just don't think he's gonna have the I don't think they're gonna have the follow up for the portal key. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. We'll just have to wait and see.
Well, he did just purchase it right there, so it is guaranteed and on the way and going to be delivered, and may need to use it here shortly because the middle lane, he needs to get some regen, though, if he wants to be very useful in this fight. He's actually just going to come no matter what. He actually bought a mana potion, but still, he is very low on mana right here, so I mean, he can blink initiate, blink and stun, but that's pretty much it. I don't even think he can apply a swear with the mana that he currently has, but they're going to go. In the meantime, there's the root. In comes the Pestilence. The Kexon pushes them back. Wretched Hag going to be person out, and down goes Master of Arms as well. Well fought here from tmsR. They're going for Tempest now. He takes an initial stun. The Metamorphosis chasing with Warbeast. Keeping the Forces chasing as well. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. They are committing big time right here. You see one port coming in, Torture with some turn. Corrupted Disciple ports in, and now Warbeast overextending big time. He's going to get caught out. So, yeah, tmsR a little bit overzealous there at the end, and it does cost Warbeast his life. But at least initially, that was pretty good for tmsR there. They did lose the tower, though. Stigman got the tower kill.
I'd say it's pretty even. A support. It's basically what a carry for a carry, hag for a Keizu, a support for a tower. It's pretty even. You know, you're always fine with the support for a tower, and then so it was an even trade.
Yeah. So after that, I mean, you look at that golden experience difference right here. 1,000 gold lead for State Green, but 1,000 experience lead here for tmsR. So. Definitely a little back and forth in that presence as well. Yeah, I was a little concerned in that middle lane when Pestilence went in, but he did just have enough to kind of, again, like I said, do his initiation, get the stun off, and it looks like he was even able to apply the swarm. So being useful and a good root initiation. I think it hit all four heroes that were there at that time. So pretty much
I don't
best
think
case.
they counter. Oh, actually, they did have counter down. Maybe it was too late. But
yeah.
Also something else I didn't really factor in is Warcry with Pestilence debuff. You know, he does do a lot more damage than you would normally think he would.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah, especially, I mean, he doesn't even have Gore yet, actually. He just maxed out Fly. We do see at least they go the 1 point in Gore sometimes to get that RNG chance and the extra attack from that, with especially being physical now. But he decides to pass it up. He will get it at level 10, of course, but that's even more damage presence. So, yeah, that is true. A lot of physical presence coming out from the Hellborn team, and that makes you look at the Legion team and seeing something like a Soul's Bulwark, even an Abyssal Skull you could argue might be worth it. They do have a Ring of the Tetron Corrupted, at least, and Torture, actually, so they do got a couple of those. But looking to upgrade that / get a Soul's Bulwark, a pretty good idea here, you would think so, for the Legion team. What about Soul Reaper? Soul Reaper has 2,000 gold saved up. What do you think Haxman's going to be going for here?
I think Icon of the Goddess is like the de facto best item you can get.
Oh, top lane. Yeah, they want to initiate energy field in the back of the beautiful energy field. The Tempest ultimate's going to pull them in, though. Will this be enough follow-up damage? Sorry, gets pulled in. Yes, it will. He goes down before doing much else. Keeper of the Force now trying to get a response. Tempest will fall right there. However, Wretched Hag and Torture looks like they are going to be able to get away. Wretched Hag chasing, in fact. Engineer going to be blocked, though. In comes the Impel from Pestilence. The auto attacks, and look at that damage here. Talking about 10. He goes by Keeper of the Force, falls, and now Pestilence on the run. He's trying to get away. Doesn't have his flight, though. 2 more seconds. 1 more second. He's going to use it right here, and it will barely be enough. So both sides again, they do get some pretty decent kills, but kind of another even exchange back. I mean, big ultimates used, kind of an even exchange right there.
Yeah, it was pretty even. Just something to note though is you had 2 heroes on Hellborn, 2k gold on their pockets, and maybe if they had items, and that could have been a bigger or bigger for them at least.
Yeah.
It looks like Hacks might go the Sackstone route now, which is never a wrong. I think can I get this tower? Oh no.
Oh, Pestilence wants some revenge. Look at those auto attacks. I mean, you see right there, especially with the Gore proc coming out. I mean, holy crap. Master of Arms just melted, and Mumian actually denies the tower, so good response coming out right there. But you're right. I mean, yeah, in fact, he is going the Sacrificial Stone route, but yeah, even if he had that, maybe even a close one if he was going for the Icon, how that could have kept him alive if he just spent that gold.
Also, having Keeper had enough gold for the Astrolabe before the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Astrolabe, so these things do matter, and I guess they were probably preparing for the push. They were probably shopping, or they got caught a little bit off guard, and they just had to respond. But if they're ready faster, it probably would have been bigger for them. But in the end, it was actually still pretty good. I think it was a 3 for 2 and hero kills plus a tower deny. So it was pretty solid for them.
And again, you look at the goals. The goals basically identical now, and then the experience even a little bit growing here now. For Too Much Sugar, actually, is Keeper of the Force is leading that chart, but overall it's just a pretty even spread really between the two sides. Corrupted Disciple, we really haven't talked too much about him, but he's kind of been quietly almost been doing his own thing. He's over 400 GPM though, and actually a Shrunken Head is very, very close for Chessie.
Yeah.
So
SG should only they want to fight before they want to defend mid tower, but Chessie almost has a Shrunken Head. I would say maybe just go initiation on Hag.
Yeah, Engineer trying to find them. There's the initiation on the right. Look at those auto attacks. Once again, he blinks through the energy field, and Mumianer gets credit for the kill right there. Down goes the middle tower. Again, Pestilence continuing to just be impressive with that damage output, man.
And now this is going to be a Kongor kill.
Yeah.
This is really big for tmsR. This is going to allow them to keep pressuring their opponents. And You know, this Hag, he really needs that better positioning, or he needs to get more build-up items. He dies really easily without any armor items. This would have been a game for him to go Sackstone. You have so much physical damage on the Hellborn side.
Oh, yeah.
But he's being a little bit greedy, going for that Lightburn rush. I don't really like it here, especially when you're taking the early fights.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you know, again, it's pretty obvious. And you think as this game has progressed, it's been more and more evident. Just the physical presence is definitely there. And yeah, so going the Lightbrand, he is very squishy. That's showing now several times on Limp. He is 0-4-3, so not his best game here. There goes the Conquer kill, token alive on Soul Reaper, who, by the way, went the Lightbrand, actually. And you kind of wonder if that's maybe a little bit of a change, maybe because how the game is picked up, or if he just planned that from the beginning to go that choice.
I guess since Pestilence is starting fights, it's going to allow them to have more damage in a team fight with a Grimoire and Haxorn.
Yeah.
But I just think Icon is like the best item for him this game. You have so much magic damage on Legion. You're forcing fights. It's gonna give you so much HP, so much mana regen, so much HP regen. If you get a kill in the team fight, you get 300 HP and mana over 10 seconds. I just think it's the best item it could go.
Yeah.
But Grimoire will make him do more damage. It will be better for farming. So those are the pros and cons.
Yeah, and again, another side to that too is actually Engineer might find himself in a difficult spot. Those are just solutions though, so he will be fine. But I mean, they have both Pestilence and Warbeast that are already going to be decent damage dealers, especially that Warbeast when the game really picks up. So that you could give even more reason as to Soul Reaper might have been better off building more of that utility, more of the utility build really, and yeah, kind of the Goddess and a tablet, things like that, Sheepstick even. So, but again, he is going for more of the damage, which isn't a bad thing as you put it. It is kind of just a give and take here in those cases. But I mean, his farm is definitely enhancing quite a bit. He's fourth on his team. I mean, that also shows you how much spread farm is coming out here, really on both sides.
Well, it's a start. You have to keep in mind.
Yeah.
You see now Tort picking up the Sackstone. It's good. They need one on their team, but I think I might have preferred it on Hag just because he's such a target. Like nowadays, if you have an ability to lock down Hag early game, you just to do it in a game. You don't care if he's behind. You don't care if he doesn't have much farm. You just kill him before he starts taking off. And I think he's going to either just be a little bit more careful on his positioning, is to make sure he goes in last, or he's going to die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just look at Hag right here. He's on Steam Boots, 777 in life. I mean, that is nothing. That is nothing. Only 4.3 armor. Yeah, he is just, and we've already seen it a couple times. Pestilence jumps him, and just one gore proc. I mean, it seems like it drops half of his life. So, he is vulnerable.
Well, with the level 2 Swarm minus 12 armor on him, he's going to be hitting from more like pure damage. Or I think he gets to do more damage.
Yeah, increased. Yeah.
Yeah. His Impale plus a Gore proc is probably something like 400 damage. Mm-hmm. So he literally just dies to spells in like 2 auto attacks.
Yeah.
So.
And actually, speaking of that, he also is very close to that shrunken head. So that goes back to that idea. He went the Portkey first. We said we'll see how. I think it's paid off. I think it's safe to say. And now the fact that he is going to have that shrunken head on top of the Portkey now, that is huge. Meanwhile, actually at the Ancients over here, we see Keeper of the Forest. He's going to dodge the chain reaction stun right there. They can't actually see him. They were just hoping to land, but here comes Engineer trying to steal some Ancients, but no, it's not going to happen as they're able to clean up at least the rest of them right there. So some fun at the Ancients going on, but just a little bit of trade and farm right there.
Yeah, I was definitely proven wrong this game. He looks to utilize his portal key to great effect in multiple situations, but let's see where he has the shrunken head now. I wonder if he's going to go for the demonic breastplate or have Warbeast go for it.
Yeah.
He's a little bit ahead of the Warbeast, so I might prefer to see him go for it, but I'm not really sure what else a Pestilence should get. I guess he could go something like a Shield Breaker.
Yeah, it might as. I mean, you might as well, right? It's.
Yeah, why not? Like Legion, like they only have one armor item on their entire. Okay, I guess they have Ring of Teacher and Sackstone, but it's really not that much armor. Chessie is yet to pick up the Bulwark, which they really need for the team. So.
They're gonna jump Torture right here. By the way, Deep the Master's Call comes out. Kex, and no, the tablet first. He's able to get that off, so he will be fine. The energy field also wasted right there, unfortunately, by Moomiander. So if that Kex stun landed, I mean, different story definitely, but good job spamming that tablet to command on himself, and he does get away. So he knows the energy field is down now.
I think that has a lot to come down to Slick's not using the Shrunken Head when he jumped. If he jumps with the Shrunken Head, he doesn't get stunned, and he might get a Gore proc off, and then that might be a dead hero because he tableted himself. But just a little greedy. he wanted to save his Shrunken Head cooldown, and then he accidentally popped it later. So now this is gonna be a free tower for Stay Green probably.
Yeah. Is it? I mean, TMSR, they seem interested. Portal Key on Keeper the Forest, by the way. So he has that. Obviously, you want to try to counter that Tempest here, who has his ultimate, of course.
Warbeast just picked up the Shrunken Head. It's really big for him.
Yep.
The only hero I have to worry about now is the Corrupted Disciple.
Yeah, with that conduit, obviously. So, but that's the good thing about Warbeast, too. The fact that he has that speed that can't be slowed. He can kite away from Corrupted's conduit pretty easily if need be in a lot of cases. So here we go at the tower again. Stay Green kind of poking in a little bit right here, keeping TMSR occupied, if anything, but
they should just back up.
Yeah. Not going to fight it. Grimoire's finished on Soul Reaper, by the way.
Yeah, it's big for him. He's going to do a lot more damage to auto attacks. Only one hero on the Legion has a Shrunken Head. I don't even think they have any vestments on their team. They only have three vestments. So the Tort and the MOA will just die really easily to his auto attacks.
It's tough. I mean, this is one of those games, though. It's like, vestments is still good, but
I wouldn't go vestments this game either.
Yeah. It's they're like still is a play. I mean, every game there is a place technically for vestments, but yeah, this game it's like a case of you can probably be a little more lenient than other ones.
No, honestly, like I guess you shouldn't have the Ring of the Teacher because another hero on this team has it, and that should be vestments. But that's really nitpicky.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you do look at Hag once again. So he's 1,000 gold now. I mean, Limp's farm is kind of slowly but surely recovering here. But it still goes back to the fact that his build is making him continuing him to be very, very squishy. Bottom lane, Keizu doing some tower pushing himself. Oh, Master of Arms trying to pour it out. Is it going to be in time? They are going to rid, I was going to say.
Could be in trouble. Oh, no, he's turning around for the support MOA.
Yeah, he wanted to, and actually there's the Impulse, and it only hits Tempest, but can they burn him down? In comes the Shrunken Head. There's the Soul Demonic Execution coming out from Soul Reaper. They will finally get the kill. Keep the Force jumps in as well. Warbeast focusing on Corrupted Disciple. He takes out Pestilence, but at what cost here? Down goes Corrupted Disciple. Huge Bad Blast coming out. Hits several heroes. There was the Shrunken Head up though on Warbeast, but a buyback Tempest. The ultimate coming out. Do they have enough damage? Follow-up is the question. No, they do not. They will survive initially. Keep the Force falls, but he's already done his job. Pestilence obviously still dead, but TMSR looking pretty damn good here. Torture being chased back. He is going to turn around in the end. They wants to get the kill to Soul Reaper, but that's just not going to happen. Engineer actually beautiful kicks on. Oh, the turret. Just not enough damage right there, but this is going to be a free tower kill now. Holy crap, Stay Green. Big buyback on Tempest, but didn't prove to be enough as far as the follow-up damage was concerned.
And that really just comes down to them taking a team fight when their Master of Arms got caught. And they're lacking a lot of right click, a lot of physical damage over time. Yeah. They're losing their blue buff on their Corrupted Disciple, and they really should have just not taken that fight. A support MOA does a lot for your team when he's alive. His goo and his blue buff alone are just fight turners.
Yeah. This is, so Stay Green, I mean, they seemed really confused too, which doesn't usually happen on Stay Green. I mean, they weren't really sure if they wanted to help him or not. As we said, they kind of got caught in between in terms of really committing to that. And Pestilence, he got the jump. He only stunned Tempest initially, but obviously that proved to be the correct target. And then by the time Tempest bought back and came back in, Corrupted was dead at that point, so the follow-up damage not enough. You got the heals from Soul Reaper happening, as well as the Astrolabe, and obviously the end result. So Stay Green, I mean, they are in quite the deficit now. What was that, Brutalizer?
Yeah, Bash, Brutalizer, and Warbeast. That's a huge pickup. He can pretty much, I think he can fight the CD now. All he has to do is, when he gets conduited, just back off, then re-engage, and he should be able to beat the CD in a 1v1 fight easily.
Corrupted Disciple, I mean, he's got the Firebrand purchase, of course, going to be going for the Geometer's Bane, no doubt. Another way to get out of Keeper of the Forest Ultimate, of course, but they are quite at the deficit right now as far as golden experience goes, and actually Torture going to be jumped. He's trying to get the kill to Keeper of the Forest, but that's going to come at a cost. It looks like here comes Richard Hag, though. Corrupted Disciple from behind. Soul Reaper gets bursted down the conduit. Charges are added up right here, but will it be enough to lock down with the Corrupted Disciple is going to fall. Warbeast joins the party, and as he expected, he's doing so much damage. Moon Meander gets the kill right there. Master of Arms on the run, and Wretched Hag says, see ya, not much more I'm going to do. A Master of Arms, so yeah, he's going to be picked off here. No way he gets away. So another well fought by TMSR. Soul Reaper buys back, as you said. They can't find him, really? Are you serious? Come on. Come on. There we go. They actually do find him with the keg stun. Wow, he actually was hiding there, but Z-Freak does go down. Too much sugar. I mean, this is a hell of a lead now.
Oh yeah, this lead is going to be very hard for Stay Green to come back from. I think from here on out, Stay Green is not going to take a single fight unless it's in their base. They're probably going to be like, alright guys, we lost too many fights. probably can't win anymore.
Yeah.
You just gotta hope that we get enough farm to win this game, or tmsR makes a mistake. I don't think it's like beyond their stretch to making a play that brings them back into the game.
Yeah. No, definitely Stay Green can do it, but it's obviously going to be a long
The Hellborn have destroyed a
journey
Legion tower.
here. I guess that's what I was looking for. But in the middle lane, tower falls in favor of tmsR. You saw Torture at the top side. I mean, Torture is working on a sheep stick now. He's got the Acolyte staff. He still needs that Blessed Orb as well as a Manitou, though, so still plenty of gold to go for him.
It could even be a Frostfield plate, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. They'll probably go for the sheep, though, just because they need a CC item if they want to bring down a hero before he can do anything.
Yeah. That is true, actually. Yeah, that didn't register initially, but I mean, if they go sheepstick, though, you usually see the Blessed Orb first, so I think it might be a Frostfield play. But at the same time, you could argue that he might have been better off going for the armor first if he's going the Frostfield plate. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what he goes for in the end. But
Ag almost has his Grimoire. He's just like 250 gold shy.
Yeah.
So that's good for him. But he's still really squishy. One blink stun by the Pestilence, and he's pretty much just dead. No ands, ifs, or buts. So he just can't get caught. Looks like a Kongor starting for tmsR soon. It just respawned, I think.
Yeah. It's there's a more to sight there from Stay Green, but they're going to clear up the middle. I want to get your thoughts on this here, Sender. So the Legion team right here, is from my double checking here. So they don't have a Ring of the Teacher buff anymore. I mean, not only I think it's safe to say at least they would like that, but could you even see I know they don't have melee heroes, but obviously the armor buff alone with an Abyssal Skull is so good against the Hellborn team. Do you think they need one?
At some point they do, but it's not like you'd say, alright guys, buy an Abyssal Skull super early game. The 2 armor is not really worth it.
Yeah. Oh, they're going right here. Crypto Disciple wants to make something happen. Shrunken Head. He tries to steal the token. He doesn't, though. Soul Reaper picks it up. Energy foot in the background. Master of Arms set right off the bat. Torture kind of in a bad spot right here. And look at Corrupted Disciple. The bash goes off. Corrupted Disciple is dropping quickly. Corrupted will fall. Wretched Hag able to blink away for now, but will it be enough? Tamis goes down. There's the vote to concede. Too Much Sugar takes game number 1 here in the winner bracket finals against Stay Green in the SoundBlaster Heroes League. That's their first game they've won against Stay Green in a best-of-3 series. Hey, they got to be feeling pretty damn good after that game, because honestly, that was just great play from Too Much Sugar. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, I think they played a great game. They picked some good fights. They didn't really. I guess they found a couple picks here and there on the Hag, which was really key. But they just mostly played really well as a team. They even had, arguably, they came out behind from the laning phase pretty big. I think they were down like 2k gold, but they took the right fights and they won the game by doing so.
Yeah. Yeah, Too Much Sugar looking pretty good there in that first game. They got to be feeling good, but obviously it is a best out of 3, and Stay Green has proven many a times, and but they are a dangerous team. They do not want to let up. Don't feel satisfied with one game if you're Too Much Sugar. That is for sure. But at the same time, still feel good knowing that you were able to take them out in that first game. But Stay Green, obviously, again, I think that they played solid. I mean, the laning situation, it seemed like the lanes actually were going pretty damn well for them. Hack seemed like he was doing good middle lane ultimately. Obviously, bottom worked out well for Corrupted down there, and then even the top dual lane worked out. But the Portal can pick up my Pestilence. I really think that proved to actually be a very, very good choice in the end. Not too sure if that would be the best choice initially, but I think that proved to be a very big pickup, and they kind of went with that and kind of worked off of that. So,
yeah, I think the reason the Portal key worked out is because Stay Green was like making plays right around when he got it, and